In the 1600s, many European-born explorers looked west, striking out to the Americas. Among them, a fur trader originally from the English countryside, governors from Spain and France looking after.
Here we have the millennials over Israel. They're starting to change their opinion, not just a slam dunk for Israel and all things Israel does anymore. 1948 was a long ass time ago. The pains and horror of World War II isn't as fresh in our minds as, say, the bloody genocide of Gaza and Palestinians and West Bank. And so the it says here just the resolution 494. These are the two resolutions the Senate has passed, which isn't the House, nor is it the President or the other branch of government, but it is something, right? So in resolution 498, the Senate reaffirms its support for Israel's right to defend its citizens, ensure the survival of the state of Israel, condemns the unprovoked rocket fire at Israel, which is horse shit, right? So we're passing fucking resolutions based on faulty information. The airstrikes and the arresting of 800 Palestinians are the reason why it started. Then they call on Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to dissolve the unity governing arrangement with Hamas and condemn the attacks on Israel. So they want to dissolve the government, right? Just like they wanted to do in Iraq and any other place they invade. The second resolution is 526, passed again by unanimous consent on July 29th, restates the Senate's support for Israel and adds a criticism of the
and help build strong communities.
What?
That's why Mitch McConnell's working to help create jobs.
Where's this coming from? Okay, read it fast. Resolution 526 passed again by unanimous consent on July 29th, restates the Senate's support for Israel and adds a criticism of the United Nations report on violence. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Democrat of Nevada, said that the United Nations report was disgusting and failed to recognize that Israel is defending itself from attacks started by Hamas. It's not disgusting, Harry Reid, and I'm starting to think that Cliven Bundy was right. At this point, these guys, they were fucking. They don't have consistent principles, and that's fucking that's horrible. This video was just a charting culture video.
West Indies and military men.
Just showing migration patterns, birth and death dates, just a really pretty imagery.
I know that you're very concerned about the civilian casualties. Well, we do not share your concern about civilian casualties at all. In fact, we're conducting these surgical operations against schools, mosques, hospitals, universities, children. And one of the things that we're doing is trying to maximize the number of civilian casualties. We prefer that. I know that you understand this. But if not, this is something that I don't have to explain to Americans, President Obama, you, and the international community.
Says Netanyahu being plainly just honest, right? Just totally just putting it all out there and not giving a shit. We were talking about the Civics, Kentucky Civics, and I have a newspaper here, the Meade County Messenger. This is just the judge of the Court of Appeals, and here in Meade County, we got a race between Mark H. Flinner and Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson beat the shit out of Mark H. Flinner, trounced him 70% to like 30%. So Kelly Thompson is wildly popular around here. Judge of the Court of Appeals. So there's 14 of them. We get 2 representatives from the second. From the second district. We already got Jeff S. Taylor, who's going to be in there. They're going to make $130,000 whoever wins, and then they're going to be on the judge of the Court of Appeals. So once they get to be the Court of Appeals, then they're the second court of last resort. So it's a very powerful position. They're going to get paid a pretty penny. And they also have to travel. The judge of the Court of Appeals, they do like these 3-panel judgeships where they go out to different places, and that's how they do the appeals. So that way they can reach out to all Kentucky. This newspaper was just showing the Judge Sean Embry, date 7/16/14. It was talking about the guilties, dismissals, and charges and everything else. So it's showing everybody that was put before him, their name and what the issue was. And the dismissals were there's theft by failure to make required disposition of property. Sounds like some bullshit. Failure to notify address change, dismissed with proof. Failure to produce insurance card, dismissed with proof. theft by deception, including cold checks under $500 disposition, dismissed by county attorney's motion. So, you know, they're not convicting non-crimes, so that's a good thing. We can tell by the sentences and the things that they are saying guilty what it is that, you know, Meade County judges care the most about. So we go down here, we see disorderly conduct, alcohol intoxication. So they're, you know, the $25 fine, and I guess $233 in court costs or something. So they don't like drunkenness, that's pretty consistent, right? There's been actually a lot of robbery. The gas station right up the road got robbed. I think it's the Marathon gas station. There's a picture in the paper here that Brandenburg police are trying to help identify. And then Meade County's most wanted. They got 6 guys: Stephen A. Mills, Scotty L. McGowan, Timothy Hatfield, Justin Decker, Jeremy A. Price, Franklin T. Osborne, and Brian Davidson, who are all at large. Meade County's most wanted. So who are these people and what they do? It just says that they're wanted on felony warrants, but it doesn't actually say what they're wanted for. And as the public, I don't like that. I want to know what the fuck they're being wanted for, because, you know, am I supposed to hate these guys? Did they do something bad? This Scotty L. McGowan's smiling. He's like got a smirk on his picture. He looks like he'd be a friendly guy, nice guy to go hang out with. So it's the alcoholism, criminal trespassing, failure to register, transfer of motor vehicle, fine $25. 10 miles over the limit, failure to produce an insurance card, no expired registration receipt. So it seems like a bunch of petty fucking traffic violations. Speeding 13 miles over, 10 miles an hour. What the fuck is this shit? 17 miles over the limit, operating on suspended, revoked operator's license. That sucks for this gentleman. Theft by deception, including cold checks under $500. Assault in the 4th degree, domestic violence, minor injury. That's Michael P. Reddy. Alcohol intoxication, theft by deception with the checks, speeding 15 miles per hour over the limit. So it seems like, you know, these are good. I like that it seems like there's nothing happening in this town, so it doesn't seem like I'm not as scared. But it doesn't. I don't like the fact that they're arresting people over some dumb little shit. So let's just take this guy. He's got like fucking 20 fucking charges. No tail lamps, rear license not illuminated, failure of owner to maintain required insurance, driving on DUI, suspended license, controlled substance prescription not in original container, possession of controlled substance, drug unspecified, probation violation. So he got 8 fucking charges. Sentence 1 to 2 is dismissed. 3 plead guilty. 6 months probated. 2 years after serving 10 days in jail. Fined $1,000. 4 plead guilty. 30 days probated. 2 years after serving 10 days in jail. Fucking 8 charges. This motherfucker had to fucking answer to 8 charges. Warren Dwayne Collins. They just was raking him over the coals. They're just fucking this guy over. 8 charges. That's some bullshit. Okay. They're not helping anybody with that type of shit. So you do see them sort of roughing people up and shit. But I don't know. It doesn't seem, everybody had to have been stopped for some reason, right? So if you're speeding or if you're drunk, then if you're suspicious looking, you know, they're stopping you. I don't know. I'm just trying to get the culture of Meade County. So that helps with the culture. The reason why we pointed out the judge is because we found out that Judge Shan Judge Shan Embry is a district judge around here. And so, you know, that's big news, right? So Kelly Thompson versus Mark H. Flinner. See, and then you have, let's see, on the 6th district up in Boone County, you got Allison Jones versus Justin Sanders, right? Justin Sanders, Mr. Smiley Face, right? And then Allison Jones, Miss Worker Class Woman. I hope Allison Jones gets it. Allison Jones would be a better judge than that other guy. Here's the explanation for all the courts. You got 5 different courts, right? You got the Supreme Court, you got the appeals court, and then you got the 3 trial courts. And the 3 trial courts are circuit court, family court, and district court. So circuit court is the court of general jurisdiction that hears civil matters involving more than $5,000. Capital offenses, felonies, land dispute, title cases, contested probate cases. Circuit court has the power to issue injunctions, writs of prohibition, writs of mandamus, to hear appeals from the district court administrative agencies. All right. So one judge may serve more than one county within a circuit. Some circuits contain only one county but have several judges depending on population and caseload. Circuit judges serve in 8-year terms. They also get paid $120,000. It seems like the best judge to be, if not the appeals judge, would be the circuit judge. The appeals judge, you know, they have to travel and go around everywhere. But the circuit judge, they sit in one spot. They do the same work, it seems like district does. They have more responsibility, but they're getting paid more money. compared to like the Supreme Court justice who only gets 10,000 more, does way much more work, and you know, doesn't have to deal with, well, I don't know. I guess it could depend on each one of them, right? And then who decides this, right? It seems like there's still some things in flux. One judge may serve more than one county within a circuit, so you know you can get what, a judge from another county, and then who says that that's acceptable? They could just do that type of shit. The judicial system could just fucking transfer, and you know, like the Catholic Church just kind of fucking move themselves around from here to there, and nobody ever gets caught for the shit that they do. Family court provides one judge to hear all of a family's issues relating to divorce, child custody, adoption, termination of parental rights, domestic violence, child abuse, and neglect. Because family court is devoted exclusively to cases involving families and children, these cases do not compete with criminal and other civil cases for court time. It's a division of circuit court. Kentucky's highest trial court employs full-time judges, same qualifications as those who serve other divisions of circuit court. Full-time judges getting paid $130,000. Linda Ray Bramlage, you know, that's all she, that's what she does. That's what her entire position is. There's 3 judges in Boone County, Gallatin County Circuit. Is that the 46th or the 54th district? But the, it's one of the two, right? They serve 3.2 million Kentuckians in 71 counties, meaning 49 counties do not have family court, including Meade County. There's no family court in Meade County, but there's family court in Boone County. Family court is involved in the most intimate and complex aspects of human nature and social relations. For that reason, family court uses a case management process that distinguishes it from other trial courts within the one family, one judge, one court approach. Cases are presented in a single court outlining the same judge to hear all matters involving a particular family. This reduces the stress that can arise when individuals are shuttled between courts to resolve a variety of issues, focusing on the needs of the family. Family court gives case involvement in families and children the highest priority. These cases do not compete with criminal and other civil cases for judicial time. As divisions of circuit court, the highest trial court in Kentucky, family court employs full-time judges. Same qualification. So they do dissolution of marriage, spousal support, equitable distribution, child custody support, paternity, adoption, domestic violence, dependency, neglect, and abuse, termination of parental rights, status offenses, runaways, truancy, and beyond control. History of family court. Kentucky launched an innovative, ambitious project when Jefferson County began the family court. All right, so that's enough of that. There's I want to actually explore sort of the dynamics between the county attorney and the Commonwealth's attorney. So we have the Commonwealth's attorney and county attorney are both elected positions, but the county attorney is just that one single county's attorney, whereas the Commonwealth's attorney will represent, you know, another district. So more, you know, prosecutors, more judicial people. And what I think is going to happen eventually, and this is just a guess, but we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it. It's not really a guess. I've read this, but the general understanding that I have of it is that the county attorney is the man when it comes to Meade County. So the Meade County attorney is, you know, whoever, and I think Jennifer Powers, or Flowers or something, Jennifer Powers. So there's she's, you know, the county attorney here, but then the Commonwealth's attorney is going to be elected, and then once they get in a position of power, they are the, you know, they're all agents of the state, but because we have a Meade County, you know, county attorney, that is our county attorney. That's the ones we chose, and that has democratic legitimacy, Meade County legitimacy. And so since we voted for our county attorney, that gives us, you know, that makes her more endeared to us, or so you would think, or so you would hope. Whereas the county attorney, when you have to do a district, you don't have to have love for just one. You can have love for several, and it's just an area, right? You're just representing a spot, an area on the map. And so the county attorney, what I think happens is eventually the Commonwealth's attorney pretty much has all the power, and then they kind of push on the county attorney to do what they want to do. And so the Attorney General, Jack Conway, the chief prosecutor of Kentucky, pushes on the Commonwealth's attorney, and then they push on the county attorney to get the things that they want done. And so I think there is a bit of hierarchy that's going on. Now, while they can push and pressure them to do something, they probably could just ask nicely and get the same results. And so I think what ends up happening is that there isn't really a hierarchy, but more like concurrent sort of partnership. Both the county attorney is trying to prosecute and get, you know, as many people behind bars and pad his resume as much as possible, and so is the Commonwealth's attorney. So the Commonwealth's attorney and the county attorney are both on the exact same thing. So since their job titles are very similar, it would seem like they would be on the same team. However, there could be conflict. There's always, like, you know, jurisdictional battles and fights and shit, but that's what I feel like is going on. So I'm just going to run down this some of this information. So the county attorney, the office of county attorney was first made a constitutional office under the Kentucky Constitution of 1850. The present Constitution, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so prosecutorial duties. The county attorney must attend the district court in his or her county and prosecute all violations of criminal and penal law within the court's jurisdiction. All right, so the county attorney is the one that goes to the district court, the court of limited appeal. And who goes to the circuit court? That's going to be your Commonwealth's attorney. So the county attorney is going to be the district court man, and the Commonwealth's attorney is your circuit court man, because the circuit court is a higher trial court. Circuit court is where the felonies, that's where it's happening, that's where the action's at, right? That's where anybody that's coming up want to be so they can get those fucking good-ass cases. That's the circuit court, right, or the family court. The district court is like they treat district court as like the fucking losers of all losers, right? That's why it sucks, because, I mean, when I read all this is all district court. This has to be Judge Shan Embry is district court, right? You got these little speeding fines. You got, not having a tail light, just small little tiny shit. Just writing a bad check and, taking alcohol or being drunk and stuff. Small stuff, right? So not huge stuff. All that will be district court matters. None of that will be going to the circuit court. So that's why it was handled right here. And so, let's see. Further, the county attorney and the Commonwealth's attorney are required to cooperate in the enforcement of laws and, when necessary, to assist each other in prosecution within their respective courts. So actually, by law, the Commonwealth's attorney and the county attorney have to work together. So these are the prosecutors. When we talk about the judicial system, the judge has all the power. They're the ones that set up the court. They're the ones that's going to set up a juror, a box of jurors or not. And so the prosecutors, they are the ones that press on the judges and press on people, and they're the ones that interpret their police officers' conduct and says whether or not the things that they did was guilty or whether they was not guilty. So this is just showing you the whole dynamic of the whole thing. So the judicial system, I think, is the most powerful branch of government there is compared to executive and legislative, which doesn't do shit. The judicial branch is the one that governs your day-to-day operations and your day-to-day actions. When the dispute arises, you got to get it in front of a judge, and then they make a determination. And so that's what we're doing. That's what the police officers are doing. That's what people are doing, and that's how this shit works. And I think it's important because cops aren't the only people that can issue citations and send you to jail. You could send somebody to jail yourself. You can issue petitions. You can become judge. You can become a lawyer. You can be so much bigger. So instead of being a victim to all the people that's in power, you can actually move yourself up. I don't know how much they're actually getting paid when we're talking about corruption. They don't get paid as nearly as much as the judges. They're making six figures a year, 130,000 or so. So I'm not for sure. It almost seems like the county attorney gets the fucking short end of the shaft, because they're the ones they have to do all the fucking work. They're the ones that got to interpret it all, and they got to be they got to also defend the fiscal court. So they got to defend the judge executive. They got to be at the district court. So they have to do all this fucking work, right? And it's whatever the police come up. I don't think so. Somebody once told me that the county attorney's job is to defend the police, and I think that's total fucking bullshit. The county attorney's job is to defend justice and the truth. And so if their police officers are doing bad things, then you should not just defend people doing bad things. There's right and there's wrong, right? So if people are hurting others, that is wrong. You can't justify hurting some people for some things and not hurt. You have to have a principle that applies to everybody. Just like Nelson Mandela said, if you change your principles based upon who you're dealing with, then you don't have the qualifications to run a nation. You don't have a solid principle core that guides your actions and your behavior. So KRS 69.210 directs the county attorney to carry out prosecutorial duties for the Commonwealth in the juvenile session of district court and proceedings pursuant to KRS Chapter 610. So they're also dealing with juveniles too. So this is all the county attorney, okay? The county attorney is the ones that have to carry out the children, and they're sitting there going to the juvenile sessions. Then the county attorneys are also going to they're going to district court, and they're also aligning themselves concurrently with the Commonwealth's attorney, right? It's prescribed by law. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it happens, but it's most likely that's how it happens. So the Commonwealth's attorney, the county attorney, they're best fucking friends. Don't let anybody tell you any different. So KRS 69 directs the county attorney, right? We already said that. The attorney general may take action to disqualify a county attorney in a particular case, and may direct any county attorney to act as a special prosecutor in cases that would normally be outside his or her jurisdiction. So there was a special prosecutor that was appointed for the Samantha Ramsey case, the Tyler Brockman case in Boone County. So what did they do? They have The special prosecutor is the one who's picked out by John Conway. Now we don't, or Jack Conway, the Attorney General. We haven't been told who the special prosecutor is. We haven't been told who the police officers are. But there is an independent investigation. There is a commission that's happening right now, and hopefully they come back soon with some fucking information, right? And hopefully they don't just cover up the fucking asses of their damned officers, because all the secrecy is pissing me the fuck off. The KSP don't even want to fucking investigate. KSP don't mind fucking anybody over in a heartbeat. But when the police officer outright murders somebody, they don't even want to fucking do that shit. No, the KSP are more fucking professional shit. They should have picked that shit up instantly. 5 days is too late. Fuck off. That is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. And any day of the week, they would fucking beat a poor person up any fucking time. But because a cop murdered a fucking kid, they don't want to fucking deal with it because of the politics. That's why KSP fucking left it, alone. And what a bunch of fucking hypocritical assholes, right? If you murder, you're a murderer, and I don't give a fuck if you're wearing a badge or not. And you kill in cold blood, and you kill somebody for somebody that didn't even fucking threaten you or do anything to you at no fucking point, get the fuck out of here. You was the fucking bully, Tyler Brockman. You're a trigger-happy fucking serial killing type of person. You have that psychopathic mentality. You don't mind fucking offing people, and then you think you did a good job. You didn't do a fucking good job. You fucked up big time, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You should say you're sorry. You should feel fucking bad, and you should pay for your crimes. And then maybe after all that happens, you can come back into society. But if you don't do that type of shit, fuck you. That's absolute fucking bullshit what you did. And it's bullshit how, actually, I don't know. I'm going to quit talking about it. So the county attorney possesses, as do the attorney general and the Commonwealth's attorney, the jurisdiction to investigate and prosecute violations of the election laws, and must notify the registry of election finances, investigations, or prosecutions. So they can investigate, prosecute violations of election laws. If they see some election laws that's going down that they don't like, the county attorney can bring the hammer down on, the county clerk, which is the people that run the election. So if the county clerk is doing some illegal shit, the fucking county attorney can, make their world hell. And they must notify the registry. The county attorney must, when requested by the attorney general, give all possible assistance to the attorney general in the enforcement of election laws. So again, the attorney general, they're all one big fucking crew, one big fucking family, right? So the Commonwealth's attorney, the county attorney, all the judges, the judicial system, Supreme Court, attorney general, they're all fucking, one big crew. And they're judicial crew, it's a judicial gang, right? It's the fucking, I don't even know, the judicial Crips. So the county attorney and Commonwealth's attorney must investigate these oaths and summon before the grand jury the witnesses they deem proper. When a voter is challenged at the polls, he or she must sign an oath as to qualifications before voting. So they can challenge him at the voting, and then the county attorney and Commonwealth's attorney must investigate these oaths, summon before the grand jury the witnesses they deem proper. That's crazy. Okay, so county attorney is responsible for distributing to crime victims and witnesses a pamphlet prepared by the attorney general that explains how the criminal justice system works, how the victim or witness may increase protection from intimidation, and how the victim or witness can be notified of the release of a person from a juvenile detention facility, jail, or prison. So here's how the thing works. Here's how it fucking goes, right? If a coroner declines to order an autopsy and the county attorney believes that the decedent may have died from a result of criminal act, the county attorney may petition the district or circuit court to order an autopsy. So the county attorney would be the one who orders the autopsy. From above, they could say, here's how you, protect yourself from intimidation, and inform the people that, here's the fucking system. Unified and integrated prosecutorial system. So the office of county attorney is a member of the unified and integrated prosecutorial system established to promote uniform enforcement of the criminal law of the Commonwealth, KRS 15700. The system is directed by the Attorney General as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the Commonwealth. It is administered by the Prosecutors Advisory Council, which is composed of Commonwealth's attorneys, county attorneys, non-attorney citizens, and the Attorney General, KRS 15705. The council may direct the county attorney to submit written reports as necessary, KRS 15720. The county attorney serve as a legal counsel for the county government. So they have to defend the fucking judge executive, the council. They're sitting there they're the ones that order the autopsy. They're the ones that investigate the fucking elections. They're the ones, that are prosecuting everybody in the fucking district court. So all the local police, right? They're fucking doing all those sort of the minor stuff. And also they're working in tandem with the Commonwealth's attorney and the attorney general. So county attorneys serve as legal counsel for the county government. Their general duties in this capacity are to attend the fiscal court and conduct all business of that body touching the rights or interests of the county. When the fiscal court so directs, the county attorney must conduct civil actions in which the county is a party before any of the courts of the Commonwealth. So fiscal court can order the county attorney what to do. So fiscal court, the county attorney operates at the pleasure of fiscal court. Now the county attorney might say, I'm so wise, I'm so smart, and get them, eaten out of his hands because they need his advice and shit. But ultimately, the people that had the power, when the fiscal court says, no, county attorney, you need to do this, then they have to do it. When fiscal court orders the county attorney to do it, they have to do it. So the county attorney is also obliged to give legal advice to the fiscal court and county officers in all matters concerning county business. So that's interesting. Somebody said that, they're actually to defend the police. Well, it's not so much to defend the police, but it's to defend justice. But it's saying here, KRS 69210, they're obliged to give legal advice to the fiscal court and county officers. So that just means they have to give legal advice. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to defend them or to use the services, but they do have to advise them. To any of the county officers. So really what should happen, it shouldn't be a police officer doing some shit and then taking it back to their fucking prosecutor and say, hey, will you fucking prosecute this? It should be, hey, this is the shit we prosecute, and then they go out and do it, So it shouldn't be, the tail shouldn't wag the dog should lead. So the county attorney should say, here's what I think is going on in this county, and this is how I roll, and this is how it's gonna be rolling for quite some time. And then people operate through his prism of how he sees things. Not let the police fucking push him to do things he don't want to do, but he pushes them to, get the real bad guys, prioritize, quit fucking with the little tiny bullshit and actually do something, meaningful and worthwhile in your life. In addition to services for general county government and its officers, the county attorney acts as legal representative to many county boards, commissions, and special districts. County attorney must furnish the legal services needed by the Board of County Drainage Commissioners if the board fails to hire an attorney to represent itself. If a proposed sanitation district in the county is called into circuit court on a hearing concerning its creation, or if an existing sanitation district is involved in a protest against annexation of land into the district, the county attorney will represent the district in circuit court. County housing commissions may secure legal aid from the county attorney. A county attorney acts as counsel for a sewer construction district and may act as counsel for water district. So, fiscal duties. The county attorney has to supervise the payment of claims against the county treasury. When claims are approved by fiscal court, the county attorney is responsible for opposing payment of illegal or unjust bills. So if he sees money that's being spent the way it shouldn't be spent, he has to oppose it. In fact, the county attorney must oppose all illegal and or unjust claims. The county attorney may not represent the county when the sheriff makes the annual settlement for county and district taxes with the fiscal court. When excess fee money is owed to the county by fee officers, the fiscal court is required to direct the county attorney to bring suit if necessary to collect the funds. All county taxes are levied by the fiscal court by order or resolution. The purpose for a tax must be specified in the resolution levying the tax. If any county tax revenue is expended for a purpose other than that for which the tax was levied, each officer, agent, or employee who, by refusal to act, could have prevented the expenditure. All right. So go on and on and on. Basically, the county attorney, Commonwealth's attorney, attorney general, or any three citizens may petition in equity for the removal of a non-elective peace officer who is serving in violation of the statutes. Non-elective peace officers. So any police officer that's been hired, on like a sheriff's deputy, the county attorney, Commonwealth's attorney, attorney general can petition in equity for the removal of that, said fucking person. No place in entertainment may be operated outside the corporate limits of a city unless its owner or manager has a permit issued by the county judge executive in the county in which the place of entertainment is located, granting the privilege to operate in that county. When application is made to the county court to operate, so if you want to find out more specifics, but that's the general notion, right? Commonwealth's attorney, county attorney, private citizen maintain an action of the same name. Prostitution, intoxicating liquors. Okay. The Commonwealth's attorney is the title given to the elected prosecutor of felony crimes in Kentucky and Virginia. Other states refer to similar prosecutors as district attorney or state's attorney. So the district attorney, the state's attorney is also the Commonwealth's attorney, because we're a Commonwealth, which only means we're a state. That's the only different. It's the same fucking word. Commonwealth, state means the same thing. A Commonwealth's attorney is the highest law enforcement official in his or her jurisdiction. In many jurisdictions, supervises a staff, which includes a chief deputy Commonwealth's attorney, deputy Commonwealth's attorneys, and assistant Commonwealth's attorneys. Commonwealth attorney is a constitutional officer, which means that the job is established in the state's constitution, which defines the position, the broad powers of the elected office holder. And in Virginia, the requirement that every county and every city be served by a Commonwealth's attorney. Cities in Virginia are independent jurisdictions, hence the term independent city. imperial immediacy, Holy Roman Empire. The role of Commonwealth's attorneys, district attorneys, state attorneys should not be confused with the role of a county attorney or city attorney, whose authority is usually limited by individual state constitutions to non-felony infractions or misdemeanor cases. So the county attorney is like the district court fucking attorney. You got the circuit court, which is the Commonwealth's attorney, then you got the district court, which is the fucking county attorney. And so the misdemeanor cases, it goes to the fucking county attorney. Now, if I was county attorney, I'd try to handle anything and everything. And if anything needs to get a bigger, because over $4,000, that goes to the circuit court. Under $4,000, that goes to the county attorney. The official name of Virginia is Commonwealth of Virginia. At the time of the formation of the United States, it was one of 3 original states that used Commonwealths in its name, the others being Massachusetts and Pennsylvania at the time. Virginia adopted Commonwealth's attorney for a title. The duties of the Commonwealth's attorney and county attorneys: agreements to share, redistribute, prosecutorial duties, circuit clerk's authority to issue criminal warrants. So the circuit clerk can issue criminal warrants. The circuit clerk can fucking do that. So before I had entered the circuit clerk, because I thought that was more of an administrative position, just doing the fucking files and the paperwork, but it turns out the circuit clerk herself, I think Debbie Medley is a circuit clerk for Meade County. She is allowed to issue criminal warrants. Right, so we saw in the newspaper we had about like 5 or 6 people that had criminal warrants out them, but we didn't see what they had warrants out there for. So I'd like to know why there's a warrant out for people, and then we could actually all be looking out for them. So if there's a murderer on the loose, we could, or a rapist or some shit, we could be watching out for this guy, right? But when they just say a warrant, I have a hard time trusting the established system. You know, just a warrant. I don't know. Did he do something? Why are you not telling me the truth? Why are you not being forthcoming with information? I trust people who are forthcoming with information. Those who hold back, those who are all fucking, you know, holding their cards back and Mr. fucking conservative and shit, it's hard for me to fucking believe them. They teach us to be, you know, a transparent, to be honest, and when we're fucking kids, to be totally honest and tell the truth all the fucking time, right? Because the adults want to know what actually happened. So if you were, you know, culpable or responsible, they want to know that part too, in addition to the main, you know, action that actually happened. Unfortunately, I think they just fucking pick on weaker fucking people that are, you know, more truthful and willing to tell themselves. They'd rather fucking pick on them people than actually get to the troublemakers and fucking try to break them. It's easier to break a fucking person that's breakable, right? So anyways, the Commonwealth's attorney shall attend each circuit court held in his judicial circuit, right? So the county attorney goes to district court, Commonwealth's attorney goes to the circuit court. Now, each circuit court held in his judicial circuit, he shall accept as provided in KRS 15.7.1 or 7.5 in KRS Chapter 131, have the duty to prosecute all violations, whether by adults or by juveniles, subject to the jurisdiction of the circuit court of the criminal and penal laws, which are to be tried in the circuit court in his judicial district. In addition, he shall have the primary responsibility within his judicial circuit to present evidence to the grand jury concerning such violations. So the grand jury finally comes in. And actually, I wish I would mention something about the grand jury, because the grand jury is like a fucking huge deal, right? The grand jury, well, we learned about the grand jury that I like the grand jury. I like the grand jury system. You got 12 people in a county that's going around just sitting there looking at all these cases. And do you indict? Do you want to try this case? Do you not want to indict? Do you want to waste everybody's time? And that's what the grand jury does. But it gives a lot of power for the grand jury, because you can indict anything. You can indict a ham sandwich. That's what they say. But the Kentucky law provides for a grand jury in each county to inquire into all law violations within the county and to bring indictments when it thinks there's a sufficient reason to try an alleged offender for felony charges. So felonies, that's where the grand jury comes in big time, is for felony charges. The grand jury also has a duty to visit and comment on the operation of county-operated facilities such as jails, and may make comments and recommendations upon the operations of any county office or officer. So the grand jury has a duty to visit and comment on the operation of county-operated facilities such as jails. So bring indictments on those, on felony charges. Felony charges, I guess, can they only do felony charges? Can they bring any indictments on anything else? So I'm not for sure. The prosecutor's advisory council shall, in allocating resources, typically the grand jury is controlled by the prosecutors, right? So by the county attorney, by the Commonwealth's attorney. They organize the grand jury, and then they sort of dictate how things are run, and they try to steer the fucking thing, right? Just like judges do when they're supposed to be non-biased, but they want to win their case. I kind of understand, but then again, I don't. Prosecutors' advisory council shall, in allocating resources between the Commonwealth and county attorney, take the agreements into account. In the event of the absence from a county of all district judges and all circuit judges and all trial commissioners, the circuit clerk in each county may issue criminal warrants prepared by the Commonwealth's attorney or county attorney, who shall certify that there is no district judge, circuit judge, or trial commissioner within the county. Okay, whatever. Duties of the county attorney, I already gone through some of that. Here's a county attorney Wikipedia. In many areas of the United States is the chief legal officer for a county or local judicial district and is usually an elected position. The role of the county attorney can be similar to or complementary to that of a local state's attorney, Commonwealth's attorney, right? Yeah, we already know what it's about. So county attorney is the district court people, and then the Commonwealth's attorney is the circuit court people. So here's all the people that have run to, that have filed to run in Meade County. So you got, Susan Masterson, county clerk, Stan Heslop is a sheriff, J.J. Scarborough, jailer, city legislative body for Brandenburg, county attorney Jessica Brown Roberts. So Jessica Brown Roberts is going to be the one that deals with the district court. She's the one that's going to be in Shan Embry's court. So Jessica Brown Roberts and Shan Embry will be in the same court. She'll be trying to prosecute him, and then he'll be the one convicting him. And it's district court, so it's anything underneath $4,000 in misdemeanors. Rebecca W. Richardson, the PVA, Property Valuation Administrator. So go around saying this land is worth that much, therefore we can tax you this much. Timothy W. Smith is a surveyor. Coroner William R. Billy Adams. See, magistrate, another sheriff. So you got William Butch Carrick, who is actually running against Stan Heslop. So Stan Heslop is running against William R. Billy Adams. He's the, it was Butch. What happened to Butch? Butch is the sheriff, is a Republican sheriff, and then the other guy's a Democrat. So automatically I like this guy better, right? Stan Heslop is a better man than Butch, so you should vote for Stan Heslop. Actually, I need to get registered. I registered today. It's way before a month. As long as you can do it 30 days before you actually get in there. You can also become a write-in candidate. So some of these folks that aren't being ran against, people can jump in and become a write-in candidate. Troy C. He's running for jailer. So is that 2 jailers that's running? I want to see the, yeah. So you got J.J. Scarborough, and then you got Troy C. Sealy. So you got 2 jailers. One's a Democrat, and then the other is a Republican. So again, I like the Democrat way better. You got Troy Sealy, fucking genius, smart man, good honest family man. I've never known him to do any wrong or any bad. Just a good fucking dude. Jerry Lynn, he's the judge executive. I think there is a judge executive. Randy Banks. So again, the Democrat is established. They are challenging the Democrats have a lot of challengers. I think they're the Republicans that are ones in power. I don't know. I can't say anything like that. But there's good races. We could say that, right? So there's a jailer's race, there's a county judge race, and then there's a sheriff's race. So Meade County there's exciting times right now. You got an exciting race for all 3 of them, and ultimately, knee-jerk reaction, I'm gonna support the Democrat, but I'm gonna have to look into each one of them and make a better, determination. That's just because you're Republican or Democrat doesn't, it should be based on a person, but it also the party matters somewhat. I don't know. It depends on who they're, if you're a bunch of Democrats who's hanging out with a bunch of rich fucking people, that's not going to help any of the poor people. But if you're poor working class Democrats who, are fighting for other working class Democrats, that's what you need to do. Yeah. Okay, so Charles M. Watts is actually running his city legislative body in Muldrow, which is the city I'm at. So this guy is running to be my, my city councilman. And I've been here since January. You have to be here for at least a year in order to run, so I can't run until next year. And I can run for all these positions, right? So I'll probably get something next year if I can just survive, if I can just make it, another year. So constable, school board, district member. So again, we're going to go see. There's a county clerk. Was there another county clerk? Yeah, there's 2 county clerks. So Susan Masterson, which is a Democrat, and then you got the Michelle Thompson. So you got 4 races, 4 exciting races, at least that I'm focusing on. And the magistrates and the constables, I don't know if any of these people are running against each other. Seems like these guys running for city council. There's nobody running against them. How many people are going to be on the city council? Is Charles Watts going to be the only person on city council? They didn't even run for re-election. I mean, every position is up. Is he going to be the only person on city council? Like, that's fucked up, man. It's pretty fucked up. So actually, I'm going to keep this up because I want to check out those candidate filings. And still, we're going to get to the Louisville's Worst rated judge and her controversial comments by Joe Shraver. She in the very beginning, this guy's wearing an Obama shirt, and she's like, "Oh, there's a double whammy. First, you raped And then that's the first crime. And then the second crime was wearing an Obama shirt. And you know what? It sucks. Just because the person walks in, they're automatically guilty of something. Get the fuck out of here. Just because people can compel you to come to court doesn't necessarily make you fucking guilty. It just means you respect the laws of the state and of the system. So why don't you actually start doing your fucking job and impartially looking at these cases? So McLaughlin accused the defendant to being up here selling dope to little children. Oh yeah, you've been selling dope to little children, right? So probably just heard some fucking cop just asserting them, right? It was false. He was not even accused of selling drugs, but the person was black, so that's all she really needed. Saying something he needs to burglarize so he can maintain his drug habit, so everybody feels good and safe with him out in the public, right? So he needs to burglarize so he can be fucking in the crack. That's what she's saying about these people. The people that's being brought before her. Is she a fair person? At least in 4 other cases, McLaughlin denied defendants the right to a public defender, which is actually amazing because she allowed me to have a public defender. Furthermore, procedural mistakes she made this summer caused a conviction to be set aside because, and actually, when you deny the right to a public defender, I think that warrants an appeal. I think that's an appealable offense. You have a right to, the Miranda rights. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, then the court will provide one for you. So if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed. So if you can't afford it, and I'm telling you, it can't be afforded, why the fuck are you going to lie to me, right? So everybody should have the public pretender, right? You're gonna fucking force me to go in this shit for some dumb little shit because your cops are a bunch of fucking assholes. Get the fuck out of here. There's so many things that could be actually solved right out in the fucking streets, but people are such stupid fucking dicks. They want to get their, they want to get their fucking marks and feel good about themselves. Early in June, the Louisville Bar Association released its 2014 judicial evaluations for the second time in a row. Sandra McLaughlin was by far the lowest rated and most criticized judge. McLaughlin strongly disputes these unfavorable critiques. I think I do a really good job. I show up on time and I work hard. You don't work hard in justice or truth. You don't give a fuck about truth or justice. You just want to convict a lot of people. So you show up to work and you punch, information on your computer and shit. But in actually dual terms of, giving a fuck about what, having the right judgments, rendering the right verdicts. I've never known a fucking judge, actually, to be honest. It seems like if you don't walk in there with the fucking lawyer, they don't give a shit about you. They automatically assume you're guilty. In Gallatin County, as soon as you walk through the fucking doors, you got short fucking bald men saying you're fucking guilty. You're guilty. You're guilty. Get the fuck out of here. In Louisville, there's so much things actually I want to jot down. There's this one retarded looking guy, which there's nothing wrong with being retarded, but I don't like him, and so he's an asshole. He's got this cleft lip. He walks around like a dumb douchebag, got a fucking badge, telling everybody to put up their cell phones, and then made some weird ass joke just to show people, oh, I'm a nice guy though, even though he's being an asshole about the fucking cell phone. You can't look at a cell phone. You're being quiet, punching on a cell phone. Why? I have to fucking look at you and be alerted and smile. And okay, yes, massa, whatever you say, massa. No, that's some bullshit. It's cows in the slaughter, and they want to fucking manipulate and control us like we're in fucking school or like we're in church. And that's what it's all about, to keep us submissive and obedient. They saw us in church, they saw us in school, they saw us be obedient bitches. They want us to be obedient bitches forever. And then you got the violent psychopaths that get away with every fucking crime because they're too big of pussies to actually go against the fucking real criminals that's out here that's terrorizing everybody. They just fuck with the fucking poor people. They're using them to make money, and it's fucking bullshit. So McLaughlin didn't challenge the authenticity of the comments she made in the Broadus, Taylor, and Gravel and other cases, but insisted everyone in my court is treated fairly and respectfully. So that's nice. Her explanation for the controversial remarks, it gets frustrating after 200 cases a day. So she realized it's wrong. She shouldn't be making comments such as that. The survey of 120 attorneys found a 26% general satisfaction rating for McLaughlin is down from a 47% or 41%. So they're not satisfied with the way she does things. Here's actually Erica, Jennifer, Michelle, and Bailey, and Sandra. So these are all district court judges. So they're all making six figures, right? They're making $130,000 a piece. So Sandra McLaughlin and Bailey, Michelle, Jennifer, and Erica is all making a shit ton of money. Now, comparatively speaking, the judges seem to be getting high marks, 90s, 80s, A and B plus status. Sarah McLaughlin, she's getting F. She's getting a fucking F for her fucking, what she does. So she has failed. She's not a good fucking judge. She's not a good fucking lawyer. She's not, I don't know. She gave me the fucking public defender, so I like that she actually allowed me to have one. But, she also had to fucking criticize me as if she knows my life. First, you just need to get a job. Well, I'm trying to get a job, but, I'm gonna have to deal with this fucking bullshit. And also, I've had 50 shitty jobs. I'm trying to get a good fucking job. And if I have to fucking go to court over this shit with this shit over my head, how am I supposed to fucking apply for a job? They're gonna fucking do a background check, and then I'm gonna be guilty just because I'm being charged with shit. Fuck you. I'm so sick of people wanting to fucking charge and fuck with other people just because they're fucking assholes. I'm so fucking sick of it, man. People are such fucking psychos. I don't understand how people could be so fucking cold and callous. But in a way, I do understand. It's America. Dog eat dog. The more cold-hearted and calculating and callous you are, the better of a capitalist you'll be, right? The man isn't the one who passes their money out to everybody and is fucking poor. The man is the one who fires everybody, keeps enough money for himself, and then, helps a few friends out, around his periphery. So it's 28 percentage points lower, the next lowest rating in the recently released poll. So she's gone down 26%, 41% down to 26%. That's embarrassing. You've actually gotten worse. In 2001, they said that you suck and you didn't get better. In 3 years, you've gone fucking down. So everybody, people don't like you. You're on your way out. And this is election day. So I wonder if there's any, I want to see what the elections are in Louisville. See how these judgeships are going to go down. Let's see, McLaughlin's explanation for a low rating. I'm one of the few judges that didn't come from the defense bar. So she didn't come from the defense bar, so meaning that they're just picking on her. Yeah, but a review by the Kentucky CIR, the Jefferson County District Court judges' career history showed that the majority have experiences as prosecutors. McLaughlin also claimed that most members of the Bar Association, the group that conducted the survey, were originally defense attorneys. They don't support my campaign. They just declared war on a tough judge. Yeah, because she actually doesn't, she doesn't presuppose that you're innocent until proven guilty. She assumes you're fucking guilty and fucks every person that comes in her fucking courtroom, right? So she's just sending more people to the clinks, increasing fines, increasing fees, making it more complicated, fucking the situation up more, not solving a goddamn thing. We don't need people who muck the situation up even more. There's lots of people that can stir the shit up and make it worse. That's not a fucking skill to have. What we need are mediators. People that can go in between two people in a disagreement and fucking mediate. Come to a better conclusion. So McLaughlin also claimed that most members of the Bar Association, the group that conducted the survey, were originally defense attorneys. They didn't support my campaign. They just declared war on a tough judge. However, Scott Firkin, executive director of the Louisville Bar Association, said membership is open to all attorneys in good standing with the State Bar Association. So she could be part of it if she wanted to be. The association has a good cross-section of both prosecutors and defense attorneys. So she's assuming that they only care about defense attorneys and they hate all tough judges. And that's bullshit. McLaughlin became a district court judge in 2011. Prior to that, she was an assistant in the Commonwealth's attorney office for 5 years. She was fired in 2004 for grabbing and berating a juror after an acquittal in which she had prosecuted, according to media reports. Wow, so she's a criminal. She goes around assaulting people, right? She was an assistant to the Commonwealth's attorney for 5 years, and she was fired in 2004 for grabbing and berating a juror after an acquittal in a case she had prosecuted. So she's saying, this person should be prosecuted. We should do this, and this person is guilty. And then the juror came back out and said, not guilty, and she's berating them. She's putting her hands on them, and she's sitting there saying, do as the fuck as I say. I said they're guilty, and how dare you fucking tell me no. So she's a Nazi. She's a fucking oppressive, dictating fucking psychopath, okay? Over the course of her judgeship, McLaughlin and the public defender's office have found themselves at odds concerning legal issues and their treatment of indigent defendants. For example, McLaughlin told Kentucky CIR she denies the appointment of public defenders in most minor shoplifting cases, some other misdemeanor cases, because the resources in the public defender's office are very scarce. You're not allowed to use that as an explanation. That's the appealable offense. Robert Lawson, a law professor, former dean in the College of Law at University of Kentucky, said McLaughlin should not allow the alleged scarcity of resources to affect whether or not lawyers are appointed in cases where jail time is a possibility. I'm assuming sooner rather than later, the exercise of discretion will be challenged. But if you've got someone who's indignant, are they likely to challenge that kind of ruling themselves? They wouldn't know to. They wouldn't have the resources to do it. They can appeal. So she wants to sit there and deny somebody of a public attorney. In fact, that might have been the best case for me. Deny me of my public defense attorney, and I'll appeal the fuck out of you. I need a reason to appeal the shit out of you. So fuck up this case. Fuck up this case. Don't allow me to have. I can't afford an attorney, but make sure, I fucking lose. But, here she is smiling. She's blonde. So, males are just going to just bow down and do anything that she wants her to do. It's going to be other women. The only people that's going to tell her what to do and what not to do is going to be other women. So, I don't know. I hope there's other women out there that can actually stand up to this fucking, piece of shit, dumbass, fucking white supremacist bitch. right? She served 4 years as a district court judge, so she's already made, $400,000, $500,000. Is she putting that money back into the fucking city, or she just taking all the fucking money and fucking all the regular people? So she's getting the white people to vote for him. Once she gets the white people to vote for him, she throws all the fucking poor people in prison, makes the fucking city more money. Suburban people are happy. Poor people are getting fucked just like they always do. And then she gets to take her fucking $500,000, to the bank, laughing all the way. It says unanimously endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police. Not true. So automatically she's lying, right? She's a liar. She's the one that's grabbing and holding on to a juror, right? Grabbing a juror after she lost her case. Named outstanding volunteer attorney, right? Good volunteer attorney. I don't know. Maybe at one time she could have been a good person, but I don't think she is anymore. Wife and mom to one terrific kid. Yay. On your ballot November 4th, District Judge Court, right? She's the woman. She knows what's up. So, she claimed unanimously endorsed, but it turned out not to be the case. 2 months after the endorsement, Kentucky CRR reporter went to McLaughlin's husband's medical office, found a stack of flyers containing the inaccurate claim. Eckert, her election opponent, was a district court judge for 25 years before retiring in 2009. He said in an interview that he is abandoning retirement to run again because several people in the legal community asked him to challenge McLaughlin. So people in the legal community do not like her, and I don't know why. They say, oh, she's just a tough judge and shit. No, you're an asshole. You're an asshole who's just fucking with people, and you're making it harder for everybody else. So if they're guilty, throw the book at them. If they're not fucking guilty, but you're not even trying to figure out their guilt, you automatically assume they're fucking guilty as soon as they walk in. You already assumed you knew my whole life. 32-year-old man, I've been on this fucking planet a long-ass time. I'm going to sit there and take fucking, just get a job and do this and do that. Sorry, not everybody can get a fucking job being a lawyer oppressing everybody. And a long time ago, I don't know, I should have been a goddamn fucking lawyer. But I had fucking family that was attacking me all this time. So I can't live a world, a life of fucking regret, but this is some fucking bullshit, okay? One would think that if it were solely a matter of her being tough on crime, there's people who used to be prosecutors would rate her highly, yet that does not seem to be the case. So if it's all about her being a tough judge, then other people that think she's tough would rate her highly, but they're not doing that. She's not getting any good ratings. A review of McLaughlin's record found additional cases in which her decisions were challenged or overturned. In one case, McLaughlin's colleague, District Judge David Holton, reversed her decision to deny appointment of a public defender to a woman accused of misdemeanor shoplifting. The woman was living on disability benefits. Disability benefits. In my judgment, doesn't matter whether you're charged with a felony or misdemeanor. Those aren't part of the criteria when you determine whether a public defender should be appointed. Holden told Kentucky CRR, what matters to me is the ability of the defendant to hire counsel. In another instance, defendant Sean Literal appeared in front of McLaughlin without an attorney in May on a $7 shoplifting charge. McLaughlin was required by Kentucky law to ask Literal specific questions to gauge his ability for self-representation. However, she asked none of those questions, proceeded with the trial, declared Literal guilty, and sentenced him to serve 30 days in jail. Over a $7 shoplifting charge, this fucking piece of shit sent him to fucking prison over a $7 shoplifting charge. $7 fucking dollars. Public defender John Sheeb happened to be in the courtroom. He protested, alleging that Literal had not had a fair trial because McLaughlin failed to inform him of his right to an attorney and to ensure his competency in court. The prosecution later agreed the court should let Literal's conviction aside, and McLaughlin consented. The judge did not advise the defendant of all the aspects of not being represented by counsel, deficiency in the case that could be challenged further down the road. Bill Patterson, spokesman for Jefferson County Attorney Michael Connell, typically is the judge's responsibility to give that information to the defendant. So the county attorney, the Jefferson County attorney is Mike O'Connell, but the county attorney is not the Commonwealth's attorney, right? The Commonwealth's attorney is the one that runs the circuit court and is above the county attorney, and the county attorney is just the district. So the family court, circuit court, that's all the Commonwealth's attorney, and then the county attorney is all about the fucking district. So that's how that shit works. So typically it's the judge's responsibility to give that information to the defendant. McLaughlin has also made other procedural missteps. For example, Ralph Weaver had not been appointed legal counsel during his arraignment on a drunken driving and marijuana possession charges last year. When the prosecutor asked him if he had any prior DUIs in Indiana, Weaver replied that he did, though none were listed on his record. At this point, McLaughlin increased Weaver's charge to second offense DUI, which carries stiffer penalties. So because you was honest, because you told the truth, she went ahead and upped your fucking charges. There was none on his record, so you wouldn't have known any better, and here he's fucking telling on himself. That's what they want to do, right? Get them to fucking tell on themselves and then convict them and then say, hey, I did something good. Jay Lambert, a supervisor at the Louisville Metro Public Defender's Office, said McLaughlin never should have increased the charge in the first place. In no circumstance can a prosecutor or judge interrogate a defendant regarding any facts of his case, much less facts they know are likely to incriminate him, without advising him of his right to remain silent and his right to counsel. It was wrong for the prosecutor to ask the question in the first place. The judge shouldn't have permitted it. The judge shouldn't have allowed the defendant to answer it. The county attorney's office later amended the charge back to first offense drunken driving, and Weaver pleaded guilty to it. Nobody should ever plead guilty. Plead no contest. Never should you plead guilty. You can do an Alford plea in Kentucky. You should always plead, no contest. So that's just saying that you're not saying that you're not guilty or that you're guilty. You're just saying that there's enough evidence to convict you. So that's all you're saying. You're admitting that there's enough evidence to convict you. So therefore, you'll go ahead and plead out, instead of actually going forward. Not saying you're guilty, not saying you're not guilty, but just that there's enough evidence to convict you. Whether Weaver's marijuana possession charge is later dismissed and there's no allegation in the case that he was selling drugs, how can you be standing in front of a judge who acts like that and says those things and think you're going to get some kind of impartial justice? You're not. So Joe Shraver is an intern with the Kentucky Center for Investigative Reporting. Staff reporter R.G. Dunlop contributed to this article. It's a good-ass article by Joe Shraver. Kentucky CRR, Kentucky Center for Investigative Reporter. I should actually get a hold of this gentleman. So yeah, this is Kentucky. I'm actually being brought before this woman right now for harassment communications and alleged harassment communications and alleged terroristic threatening. The Spalding University went ahead and stole $20,000 or $50,000 away from me, so I called them up and called them a bitch, and I said I'm gonna challenge them to a fight. They freaked themselves out, thought I was terroristic threatening them. I wasn't. You could challenge someone to a fight. They just didn't want to fucking fight. When you challenge someone to fight, you fuck with their dignity. And instead of agreeing to the fight because they know that I could kick their ass. Yeah, you stole $50,000 away from me, but I could still kick your ass. It's a stupid fucking comment. It's a dumb thing to say, but that's how evil they are. They want to smash you to, complete. They want to smash your heart and soul and fucking make you a little bitty baby bitch and make you fucking cry. And that's horrible. And that's for no apparent reason. These are people that, I paid $50,000 and had once considered my fucking friends. So this is just American society. They're just cold-hearted, callous, fucking shitty people. She stole $50,000 away from me. I said, you're a bitch, you want to fight, and then they throw charges on me, and now I'm being brought before a fucking bitch, a shitty fucking bitch. It's shitty to every fucking person on the fucking planet, right? And we're going to say that she's going to be fair? Nah, she's not going to be fair. And actually, if she's not fair, that's perfect for me because it gives me an appealable offense. She did give me the public attorney, so I can't fucking get mad about that. So there's nothing really so far that I can say. If you go ahead and organize a fair trial, then you organize a fair trial. That's the way you fucking did it, That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And whether you wanted them to guilty or not, it just, you let the jury decide, right? Prosecution gives their case, defense gives their case, the jury decides. And you as a judge, you just sit back and you let, the proceedings go on as they go. The jury gives their testimony, the prosecution gives theirs, they deliberate, comes back with the verdict. That's how it fucking works, right? Just like on TV. And yeah, so that's about it. Also, any matters over $20, you can get a jury trial. Always go for the jury trial. Always plead no contest if you're guilty. Never ever plead guilty. Never get anybody to fucking say you're guilty of shit. Never say those fucking words. Never ever surrender. In fact, people need to teach us this type of shit in the very beginning. This asshole is benefiting from the obedient nature of the fucking children from the JCPS. You got white women in the JCPS. 80% of the teachers in JCPS are white women. They're making everybody obedient fucking bitches. So when they come up to this piece of shit, they think of their teacher. They think of being honest and telling the truth and how, all the fucking tricks and management tactics that the fucking teachers used on you and how they really thought, they was manipulating you but pretended that they cared and loved you and all this other shit. And then you go before them and this piece of shit doesn't give a fuck and just manipulates the fuck out of you. And then when you say, yeah, I had another DUI, maybe 5 years ago, well, I just doubled your fucking charges, twice as much. What do you mean you just doubled my charges? You could just double motherfuckers' charges just like that? Just like that, double motherfuckers' charges. That's fucking bullshit. That's not fucking right. It's not fair. And, I don't know. I guess it'll be a good time. We'll see what happens in a couple days. So yeah, that's my civics lessons, right? We all get to see how the fucking civics works by actually being in the middle of the shit. Being in the middle of shit, you can actually see how the civics works. Do these people actually operate the way they're supposed to? A lot of times they don't. They'll respect other fucking lawyers and rich people, but when it actually comes to, respecting the people, None of them respect the people. Go through the fucking metal detector, you little piece of shit bitch. Get in front of that fucking judge, you piece of shit bitch. Say you're fucking guilty, you piece of shit bitch. Pay your fucking fine. Get the fuck out. Oh, I need to take him into custody? Good. I'm gonna put him into custody. They insult you. They degrade you. You know, that one kid, turn your hat around, take your hat off, pull your pants up, Obama shirt. Fuck you, you racist fucking bastard, you Uncle Tom motherfucker. You think you're better than me because you hike your pants up above your belly button? Motherfucker, that's some fucking 60-year-old shit. Why don't you fucking hike your pants all the way up to your goddamn shoulders? You don't know what the fuck is going on, and you're only criticizing and critiquing everybody else because you ain't got shit else going for you. You're an empty, vapid, soulless fucking person, and the only pleasure you get is your sadistic fucking pain that you put on other people. Fuck that shit. That's fucking bullshit. Sandra McLaughlin, it's bullshit how you fucking run your courtroom. It's bullshit. You don't give a fuck about justice, and we the taxpayers are paying you $130 fucking thousand dollars or $110,000 a year. We're making you a $500,000 there. $100,000 a year. Now $100,000 a year, you can allow some people to have a fucking attorney. You have the fucking free public pretender there. Okay, you're allowed to have the public fucking pretender. Yeah, go through the public pretender and act like we're actually getting representation. Why? The public pretender actually comes in and defends the fucking people, and therefore you can't get all the prosecutions you want. What do you want, a million fucking prosecutions? Not give a fuck if people are guilty or not guilty. You just want to get all that underneath your fucking... Now, how many more people can you oppress? How many more people can you fuck over? It's bullshit. Sandra McLaughlin, the worst fucking judge in Louisville.